I think you could able to see the screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See here for molecular orbital theory or the diagram. Just wait. It is not erasing. Yeah. See, FeF6 minus 4, FeCN6 minus 4, FeF6 minus 3, FeCN6 minus 3, COF6 actually minus 3 should be here. It came here. It's a printing aspect. And CON6 plus 3. These complexes we have to discuss. How many are there? 6 complexes. Out of that, 3 complexes already I had discussed. But pay attention. How is your syllabus? Which metal ion is here in this complex? In this complex, which metal ion is there?
Fe.
Fe
No,
plus 2.
always you chart. Fe
Fe plus 2.
brilliant. In second complex, which metal ion is there?
Fe plus 3.
Calculate properly. FeCN6 minus 4. Here also there is a minus 4 charge. Previous complex also there was a minus 4 charge. Fluoride also carries minus 1 charge. Cyanide also carries minus 1 charge. So
Fe
what
plus
should the
2.
charge?
Fe plus 2.
2. Fe plus 2. Yes. Now third complex.
Fe plus 3.
What is the charge?
Fe plus 3.
Fe plus 3. Yes. Fourth complex.
Fe plus 3.
Right. See here. So Fe plus 2 complexes are there. One is of the fluoroligand and other is of the cyanoligand. Fluoroligands are weak, cyanoligans are strong. Fluoroligands are weak, cyanoligans are strong. Here these complexes are for ferric ion. Ferrous ion 2 complexes, ferric ion 2 complexes. For weak complexes, one methodology of electronic distribution in the T2G and EG star orbital, and for strong field complexes, other methodology. Strong field complexes, low spin complexes, weak field complexes, high spin complexes. As like ferrous and ferric ion complexes you discuss, likewise, I want reply from you now. Which metal ion is present here?
CO plus 3.
Right, CO plus 3. And in the last complex,
CO plus 3.
CO plus 3. So these are the complexes of CO plus 3. Out of that, which is weak field? Fluoro or ammonia? Which is weak field?
Fluoro.
No. Right. See, FeF6 we discussed, FeF6 minus 4, FeF6 minus 3, fluoro. And spectrochemical series, whichever the point is there, no, that you have studied, separate video is there for that. That point will inform you about the strength of the ligand. F minus is a weak ligand. Cyanoligand is a strong ligand, and one more ligand only is there, which is as per the molecules in your syllabus, that's ammonia. Here it is strong. Ammonia ligand, here it is strong. Somebody has answered, maybe Alia has answered. She said that ammonia is a weak. On what ground? Ammonium hydroxide, weak base, maybe because of that. See, basic concept is a different acid-base concept. Ammonium hydroxide it was not ammonia. Ammonia in water gives ammonium hydroxide. We are talking about ammonia molecule, NH3 molecule. So as per spectrochemical series, you are expected to answer. Alia, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I hope that I thought that you have answered, therefore only just I pronounce your name. Otherwise, whoever answered for that, this actually discussion is. Ammonia is strong. So in your syllabus, fluoride only is a weak ligand and other two are there, cyanide and ammonia, they are the strong ligand. Strong ligand means which kind of complexes will be there, weak field or strong field? Strong ligand means which complexes? Strong field means low spin or high spin?
Low spin. High.
Right. No. Strong force, strong interaction. Then because of the strong interaction gap, that the splitting gap will be more. If splitting gap is more, then first electron, second electron, third electron in T2G, about that there is no question. Let it be a high spin or the low spin. But fourth electron will think, no, instead of going to high level, that's the EG star level, it will pair there in T2G. Pairing will occur. Spin will decrease. Low spin complex. Means it's a logical explanation that it is given. It is easy to understand. If weak field is from the ligand, then there will be the high spin complexes. It is only the basic agenda for molecular orbital theory and its explanation. Are you getting this point, what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I want to know from you, could you able to answer these MO diagrams, or I have to explain that, I have to describe, I have to help you? Three molecules out of those six I discuss. Recorded video you will get. Maybe it will take 2 days, or if possible today, otherwise 2 days. Yes, what you want? Do you want more molecule or molecules to discuss here now in this lecture, or you will work?
Discuss.
Okay. Yes, one more answer. Okay, I discussed one more. Okay, which molecules I had discussed till now? Let us see. Yes, yesterday I discussed FeF6 minus 4. Yes, do you remember that? This molecule I discussed, FeF6 minus 4. Yesterday I discussed, yes, which one? Three were discussed.
FeCN6 minus 4.
FeCN6 minus 4. Means D6 system I discussed. Yes. Further,
CONH3 6 plus 3.
there ammonia was strong field, low spin complex was there, 6 electrons were there in the T2 orbital. Now remaining 3 are there. Ferric ion complexes are left and cobalt. So what I do now, out of these two, I like to consider one, and I'll discuss this cobalt fluoro complex. Yes, suggest me now about Fe plus 3, which complex shall I discuss? Fluoro complex or cyano complex?
Cyano complex.
Yes, any other reply?
I know.
FeCN6. What is the charge? Ferric ion complex.
-3.
Charge -3. -3 because ferric ion complex is there. So as usual, what should be there? There should be 3 compartments. Left compartment is for orbitals from metal ion. Middle compartment, molecular orbitals from the ligand, molecular orbitals for the complex, and right compartment is the ligand group orbitals. So here L, G, O's of whom 6 Cn minus, and here you will say orbitals of metal ion. Which metal ion? Fe plus 3. So let me represent the orbitals. D orbitals, first I have to represent 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then S orbital, then P orbitals. Yes, P orbitals, how many should be there?
3.
3. So 4P orbitals I represent. Labeling, it is a 4P level, it is a 4S level, and the 3D level. And all others are there, those we divided into different parts, or the labels are there. Which labels are there for 3D? 2 parts are there. One is EG and other is T2G. Here 4s orbital, what's the label?
T1G.
4p orbital label?
T1U.
Right, T1U. Okay. Now orbitals from ligands. Answer for my question. Orbitals from ligand. Energy level of the orbitals of ligand is higher than the 3D orbitals or lower? It's our energy arrow. Energy is going up. So energy of orbitals from ligand will be lower than 3D or higher?
Lower.
Lower.
How many orbitals are there?
6.
6. What are their names?
EG,
Plus, yes.
A1G plus
Plus?
T1U. T1U.
Right. Now, the lowest molecular orbital that I have represented 1, 2, 3, 4, or say 5 lines which I am coming down. What is orbital?
A1G.
A1G.
Right, it is A1G orbital. Accordingly, antibonding orbital will be there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is this orbital?
T.
A1G asterisk. A1G asterisk, not T1. A1G asterisk. About now, next than A1G orbital, little higher than A1G orbital. That is which orbital?
T1.
T1U.
Yes, 1, 2, 3. So it is T1U. So it comes here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 orbitals. So it is what T1U orbital. T1U asterisk. Okay. After T1U, next orbital.
EG.
EG orbital. Yes, it is from here. So 1, 2, 3 lines, and these 2 EG orbitals are there. So here is the EG orbital, and it is what? EG star asterisk orbital. Now orbital which is non-bonding.
T2G.
T2G.
Yes, 1, 2, 3. It's a T2G orbital. Yes. Now what I do for the sake of proper understanding, because dot line also with black and orbitals also with the black, I represent orbitals by one color. So say red coloration. So it is our T1U orbital. Could you able to see that? Readable. Okay, I make it sound a little bit thick. Yes, it's a 1, 2, 3. Is it readable? It's only one. It's become too much thick. Okay. See here. It's the EG star orbital. It's the EG star orbital. EG orbital. EG orbital. 1, 2, 3. T1U orbital. And here A1G. So by red color, I represented the orbitals. Now I want your help. What is delta O value? Gap between?
TG and T2G.
Yes, here. Now in MO diagram, here it is which orbital it is? It is not EG orbital. It is which orbital?
EG asterisk.
EG star orbital here in MO. But actually it's a type of EG orbital. So that is our delta O value or splitting parameter. Now my concern here is this molecule FeCN6 minus 3. So metal ion present there is Fe plus 3. So first point of our explanation is electronic configuration. Yes. What's electronic configuration for Fe plus 3? Outer molecular configuration 3D
6.
3D6. See, Fe atomic number 26. So last
25.
digit, right. Last digit is 6. That is for Miss D6 will be for Fe plus 2. But my question is Fe plus 3. So for Fe plus 3, what should be there? 3D?
5.
Right, 3D 5. So I represent those electrons 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yes, could you able to see those electrons or those are blur? Yes, please reply. Could you able to see these electrons?
Yes, sir.
Okay, these 5 electrons. Now from ligand, 12 electrons are there. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. These 12 electrons. So total how many electrons are there? The second point. 5 plus 12, 17 electrons are there. Out of those 17, 12 electrons, out of the 17, 12 electrons will enter in low-lying molecular orbitals, usually A1G, T1U, and EG. And those electrons you can represent here. 2 electrons, 6 electrons in T1U, 4 electrons in what? EG. So here 12 electrons are completed. Remaining 5 electrons will enter in T2G and EG star orbital. Yes, now let me know what is the strength of the ligand. Cyanide is a strong or weak ligand? Cyanide is a strong ligand or weak ligand?
Strong.
Strong. So the delta O is greater than pairing energy or less than pairing energy? Strong ligand. So gap will be more or less. Strong interaction. Splitting parameter will be more or less.
Less.
It will be more. Delta value more than pairing
More.
energy. Yes, it will be more than pairing energy. Therefore, electron will prefer to enter in which orbital? That's a T2G orbital. So first electron, as usual, will be in T2G orbital. Second electron also as usual in T2G orbital. Third electron also will be as usual in T2G orbital. Fourth electron will think where to go up or down, but gap is more. So electron will say it is better to pair here. So electron will pair here. Electron will pair here. So it's the fifth electron that I'm representing. So this is the electronic configuration. If you read that electronic configuration or the electronic configuration T2G5 and EG star 0, it's electronic configuration that you will write in the point number 2. And in point number 3, the Rupashri was with the question, no? What kind of questions will be there in the examination? In the morning, who has asked? Rupashri only asked or some other student has asked? Rupashri, you only asked, no question. Yes, questions. So yes, for answering those questions, which point should be there? That I am what discussing here. Then third point is our MO diagram. Molecular orbitals and the distribution of electrons can be represented as under. You can represent this MO diagram. The fourth point, you can talk about the low spin or high spin. You can say that's a cyanide is a strong ligand, therefore splitting parameter is more than the pairing energy. So electron will pair in the T2G orbital. Therefore electronic configuration T2G 5 and EG star 0. So you are giving explanation for point number 2, a part of point number 2 in this point number 4. Then point number 5 about magnetism. Answer for our question. Is there any unpaired electron in this MO diagram? Are you finding anywhere in unpaired electron?
1.
Yes. Because of that one unpaired electron, it will be paramagnetic in nature. Point number 6, stability. Stability depends upon splitting parameter, and the splitting parameter is larger. If splitting parameter is larger, then that complex will be more stable or less stable?
More stable.
Yes, so more stable. That's the explanation for FeCN6 minus 3. It is our fourth complex that I discussed. Is this explanation clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if anyway doubt is there, problem is there, you can bring it to the notice. Now likewise, Now, last molecule that I want to discuss, if you want further, then that also can be done. And that molecule is, yes, what is the molecule? CO. Ammonia molecule I discussed last time. Now I discuss CO F6 minus 3. So which metal ion is there?
CO plus 3.
Right, CO plus 3. Which ligands are there? Yes, helping. Which ligands are there in this complex?
Fe plus 2.
Not ligand. Ligand I'm asking. There is no Fe. There's F6. F means what?
F6.
Fluoro.
Fluoride. Fluorine means F. Fluoro or fluoride means F minus. How many are there? 6. So those 6 F minus are the ligands and the ligand group orbitals. So the electrons will be there, total 12 electrons from ligand. And from metal ion now, our point number 1, central metal ion present in the complex hexafluoro cobalt 3 ion is cobalt plus 3. So help me, its electronic configuration.
3d6.
3d6.
Are you sure? Cobalt atomic number 27.
3d7.
Okay, 3d7 for cobalt plus 2. Listen, cobalt plus 2, but here which metal ion is there? Cobalt plus 3. So, what is the correct answer?
3d6.
Right. Just I verified, just I cross-checked your confidence. 3d6. Yes. Now, second point. These 6 electrons from metal plus 12 electrons from ligand. Total 18 electrons are there in that complex. Out of those 18, first 12 electrons will enter in low-lying molecular orbitals, usually A1G, T1U, EG. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, third point. MO diagram can be represented as under, and you have to draw this MO diagram. But in MO diagram, what change you have to do compared to previous? Here, 6 electrons are there. 6. So one more electron that I add here. 6 electron. So while distributing electrons also, I show it by the different color now. So I change this previous. Okay. So while distributing electron by black ink, I represent electrons now. Here 6 electrons I am with, and ligand is fluoro, or ligands are fluoro. Fluoro ligands are weak or strong?
Weak.
So splitting will be less or more?
Less.
Less.
Yes. So delta O will be less than the pairing energy. So because of that, high spin complex or low spin complex?
High spin.
High spin. So now 6 electrons. First electron in T2G, second electron other T2G. Now timing, I remove this arrow. Yeah. And third electron in third T2G orbital. Fourth electron actually can go upside or can pair, but this delta O value is poor, delta O value is less, early energy is there, easy catch energy is there, so electron will prefer to go high level rather than compelling to pair. So it will go in the EG star orbital. So fourth electron, it is the fifth electron. Now sixth electron has to pair upside also and has to pair downside also. If it has to go upside, then has to pair there. If it has to go downside, then also has to pair here. Then what will we prefer? Low energy. What is low energy? Which orbital is of low energy? T2G orbital is of low energy. So that sixth electron will enter here. So this is the electronic configuration or distribution of electrons. So that point we will cover in this point number 3. The MO diagram is as under, and the explanation for that MO diagram. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Greetings, Ajit Kenshai.
Yeah, problems were in between. So it was restarted system, rebooted. So up to where you could able to pay the attention, I am not understanding. But have you seen that the electron distribution point?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So what previous presentation was there?
Yes.
That was also lost. Now after that, the next point, after that MO diagram, next point is what the low spin and the high spin concept. So fluoro ligand is a weak ligand. So because of that high spin electronic configuration will be there. Therefore, both electron will enter in the G star orbital, and due to which now if you've seen that CO plus D6 configuration, how many unpaired electrons are there in that complex?
4.
2. It is a high spin complex. 2 is not a correct answer.
4.
4. Okay, yeah, right. 4. 4 is what the correct answer. Well, maybe I mistakenly heard other word. 4 unpaired electrons are there. So respective to those 4 unpaired electrons, paramagnetism will be there. That's the next point. And last point, since fluoro is a weak ligand, the complex will be less stable. It is a conclusion. It is a discussion. So point number 1, electronic configuration of central metal ion, oxidation state electronic configuration. Point number 2, total number of electrons and distribution of those electrons. Point number 3, MO diagram. Point number 4, explanation of the low spin and high spin case. And the point number 5, magnetic properties. Point number 6 is regarding the stability. Are these points clear?
Yes, sir.
So that
Yes,
previous
sir.
which is the presentation was there, no MO diagram was there. Now it is not. So I lost that during the rebooting, restarting. But I think concept is clear to you, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Poonam, Vaishnavi, Kartika, what happened? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, okay. So Kartika replied she is there, but concept is clear or not that she has not replied. Yes, Poonam
Clear,
is
sir.
clear. Yes, good, good. Could you able to see the screen now?
No, sir.
No. Yes, I have to start now. I got that. Whichever that I thought, no, it is lost. It is not lost. It is here. Yes, but a few points are lost there. Yes, 4 point. But these points are covered there. This is the MO diagram explanation completely. So shall I go to the next point, or it is enough now today? Yes, please reply. Be clear cut. What to do? Shall I move next, or we have to stop?
Next.
Waiting for one more reply.
Next.
Good, good. So next point is pi bonding. You can help me. Different orbitals from metal ions we discuss. Sigma bonding we discuss. But one set of orbitals we have not discussed. We kept it as non-bonding. What was that set?
T2G.
Right. T2G. The orbitals involved in that T2G, that's a non-axial set, dxy, dyz, and dxz. All these are non-axial orbitals. And these non-axial orbitals are now of importance to us. If I consider, say, it is a y-axis and the x-axis, then the orbitals lobes will be in between the axes. Those are non-axial orbitals. It is a case from what metal. Similarly, I can represent the same diagram. So one of the representative non-axial orbital, let me consider it as what? dxy orbital. So 3 kinds of overlaps are possible. Lateral overlaps are possible. Pi kinds of interaction are possible. With whom? The non-axial orbitals from the metal. Which 3 kinds of overlaps are possible? That I am informing to you. Pay attention. If I consider ligand like halide ion means X minus, that's a Cl minus, Br minus, F minus. If you consider those ions, then outermost electrons will exist in which orbital? Let you take F minus as a ligand, or Cl minus as a ligand, or Br minus as a ligand, or I minus as a ligand. My question here is, outermost electrons in those ligands will present in which orbital? S orbital, P orbital, D orbital, likewise. Fluorine, if you consider, atomic number is 9. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. But I'm talking about F minus, fluoroligand. So in spite of 2p5, 2p6 will be there. But those pairs are there, those electrons are present in which orbital? S orbital or P orbital?
P orbital.
Is my question clear? Right, P orbital. So let me represent one of the P orbital here. It is from ligand. And this P orbital is with full of electrons. It is filled P orbital. But if you see the overlap here, the P orbital is going to overlap with this D orbital. This P orbital is going to overlap with this D orbital. So this overlap, what we are finding here, this overlap, I represent by the ink now. This overlap, here you are finding overlap. This overlap is axial overlap or lateral overlap?
Lateral.
Lateral overlap. Now, here, which orbitals are filled? Ligand orbitals are filled or metal orbitals are fulfilled? Electrons are there. Which orbitals are filled? More electron density, rich in electron. Ligand or metal? Ligand, right. So here there are electrons. So from ligand, electron can come to metal. From ligand, electron can come to metal. Of course, it depends on electronic configuration of metal. But in general sense, electrons will be less in the metal and ligands are with more electrons. So because of this bonding, electrons are moving from ligand to metal. Ligand is a source of flow of electron and flow is from ligand to metal. So this kind of interaction, that's the first interaction, is called as L ligand to M, that's a metal, Just wait. Let me see who wants to come. Chetan. Ligand to metal, it is pi interaction. It is our first approach. It is called L2M kind of pi bonding. With respect to molecular orbital treatment we are discussing. But is this basic clear?
Yes, sir.
Which
Yes, sir.
orbitals are involved? P orbitals are involved. From whom? Ligands. How are they? Filled. So electrons are moving from ligand to metal. Ligand to metal. From ligand they'll go toward the metal. But interaction is a lateral interaction. It's not head-on head. Direct axial interaction. So we are saying it is a pi interaction. This is one possibility. Now, what is other possibility? Other possibility that metal orbital can overlap with ligand d orbital. See, ligand d orbital I am saying. It's a metal d orbital can overlap with ligand d orbital. Then you may be with the question, what's the example for that? The example is arsine or phosphine. There's a phosphorus element, arsenic element, both are in the same group. So phosphine means P, phosphorus, pH, phenyl group, organic chemistry. Such three phenyl groups will surround that phosphorus as like PCl3 remains, three chlorides or three chlorine. Likewise here, three phenyl groups around the phosphorus. So PPH3 is a ligand. But if you see phosphorus, yes, will anybody help me? What is the atomic number of phosphorus?
15.
Right, 15. So its electronic configuration after completing neon configuration 3s2 3p3. So third shell started 3s 3p electrons we are discussing. For hybridization also, if necessary, we go to the next orbital. After 3p, which orbital is there from position point of view? In third shell, which orbital is there?
3D.
Right. That 3D orbital I am representing. That 3D orbital is of higher energy. Phosphorus has no those many electrons so that they will enter in what the d orbital. So those orbitals will be, d orbitals are empty or filled. Higher energy orbital. Electrons are not going. So those orbitals will be empty or filled orbitals.
Empty.
Empty orbitals. So what is happening? Empty ligand d orbitals will interact with metal d orbitals, and here metal relatively will be the electrons. So electron density will be here from metal. Wherever there is a more electron density, wherever there is a richness, from that the money will go or electron will go, electron will transfer wherever they are not. So electron will move from this metal orbital to ligand orbital, metal orbital to ligand orbital. So this is which kind of bonding? It is metal to ligand pi bonding. Here ligand orbitals are d vacant orbitals, empty d orbitals. Examples for that are arsine and phosphine. Is this second diagram and second interaction clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now third one. It is regarding the anti-bonding orbitals. Antibonding. First, I represent that the p orbital, one of the p orbitals, say from carbon, a p orbital from oxygen, and they are combining. Suppose if same wave function come to is a positive wave function mixed with positive, negative wave function mixed with negative, then positive there will be strong lobe, large lobe, negative strong lobe, large lobe. So upside there will be plus, downside there will be minus. It is which orbital I am talking about, bonding or anti-bonding? Positive, negative. Bonding or anti-bonding?
Anti-bond.
Attraction is there. Positive, negative. Wave function I am talking about. Phases of the electron I am talking about. Bonding orbital. So resultant bonding orbital is represented here. I want to emphasize anti-bonding orbital now. So we are talking about the anti-bonding orbital. Just wait. Okay, I need to represent the diagram other way. Okay, so let me represent the anti-bonding orbital. So again, I have to, it is moving. Okay, that word was with the issue again. Whichever this photo you found, no, it is a Justin, inspiring Justin. If you go on the Facebook or YouTube also, then you will find Instagram also it is there. He's author, and just I am learning from him. Inspiring Justin. Okay, his philosophy is one where, but what we can learn, we have to get as more as possible. We have to learn and those who put the efforts. His story also is different one. Okay, just let me. What we are doing? Till that document opens, that I'm just discussing. Yes, have you seen that image now? Just one person was there. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's a inspiring. He put that name, Inspiring Justin. Means after 12th emergency came, he started the job, and in call center he started the job. So communication developed, but still he was with the problems regarding what the politics in the industry. So in pandemic situation, it was asked him to leave the job. Means company said goodbye to him. Then he went on thinking, what can he do? Then he started to write, and his books become the inspiring, motivational, or life coach kind of the books. Means when problem comes out there, problem triggers our potential. So whatever his experience are there, those are inspiring one. Okay, but only inspiration, motivation has no meaning. Actual work. Oh, what is happening? Document is not opening. Why? Just wait. Okay, some computer is showing some errors. Okay, student, just 5 minutes. Within that, I will wind the task, our lecture. Do you have the lecture now immediately?
No, sir.
No. Okay.
No, sir.
Yeah. Just wait. It was not this document. Was it? No. Somewhere that word processing is hampered, because I have 2019 also, 2013 also. And in 2019, what happens? There is a provision of draw, means whatever the teaching that I could do in the 2019. So 2019 and other is 2010. Just wait. If it starts well and good, otherwise we can discuss it next time. Let me see. Okay, meanwhile, see what I said. First example I had given halide ions. In halide ions, what happened? The p orbital from ligand was overlapping with metal d orbital, and ligand p orbitals were filled orbitals, and metal orbitals are empty. So flow was from ligand to metal. It was a first approach. Halide is example. Second, metal d orbitals overlaps with which orbitals? Ligand. Help me. Ligand. Second example that given, arsine and phosphine. Metal d orbital, one of the lobe, and here lobe from the ligand comes. So which orbitals those are?
P orbital.
Right. D orbitals from the ligand do come, and they got overlap. It's a lateral interaction. Arsine phosphine example. Now I am going to discuss, those are the anti-bonding orbitals. So before discussing anti-bonding orbital, just I told you the bonding orbitals. So here the p orbital from the ligand, p orbital from the metal, or p orbital from metal, carbon, p orbital from the oxygen. So if lobes are positive, they will add. Lobes are negative, they will subtract. They also will add. Positive addition. Likewise, negative also will be the addition. Yes, could you able to see the screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I told you a p orbital from carbon, p orbital from the oxygen. If lobes are of the same wave function, positive, negative, then resultant molecular orbital, carbon, oxygen, positive will come together and will form one lobe. Negative will come together and will form the other large lobe. It is a bonding molecular orbital on molecule carbon monoxide. But my point of interest here is to discuss the anti-bonding molecular orbital, of course, resulting from the p orbitals only. So if I consider carbon, left side, oxygen, right side, orbital, that's a p orbital from carbon, p orbital from oxygen. I want to form now anti-bonding orbital. Then what should be the wave function? If it is a plus, then what will be the wave function here on the oxygen? I want anti-bonding, I want subtraction, I want repulsion. What should the wave function? Minus. Here will be the minus. Yes. Here if minus, then here will be what? The plus. Yeah. So plus minus, there will be repulsion. Previously they come together, they merge. One drop combined with other drop and form new large drop. It was a situation last time. Now what is happening is plus and minus, they will repel. So because of that new structure, if I have to represent CCO, then that positive lobe will show the deviation. This negative lobe also will show the deviation. A negative lobe from the oxygen will show the deviation. This negative lobe also will show the deviation. Positive lobe will show the deviation. So these are the orbitals. These are the molecular orbitals. By which kind of interaction? Bonding or anti-bonding? Help me.
Anti-bonding.
Antibonding.
Anti-bonding. Now I want to consider only one part. This part only I want to consider. Out of that, the different aspects, only this part, which is going to interact with the metal. So I represent that part now. The metal, it's non-axial orbital. So one of the T2G orbital. That also I'm not representing completely. Partly that I represented. And now ligand and its anti-bonding orbital here. It looks like a D, but it is anti-bonding orbital. Anti-bonding orbital resulted from the p interaction, p orbital interaction. And these are anti-bonding. Anti-bonding orbitals are of high energy or low energy. It's a metal d orbital interacts with ligand anti-bonding orbitals. Anti-bonding orbitals remain with high energy or low energy. Waiting for reply. Bonding, anti-bonding orbitals, even in coordination compounds we discussed. So anti-bonding orbitals, which are represented by asterisk, they are of high energy or low energy.
High energy.
Right, high energy. So possibility of existing electrons will be less or more. Electrons will be there or no. If low energy, electrons will go. If high energy, electrons will not prefer to enter there. And especially in carbon monoxide, that's a MO diagram that you have already studied in true sense. There in anti-bonding orbital, electrons are not there. So electrons are there in metal. So electron will move or will flow from metal to ligand. Metal to ligand. So it is which kind of bonding? Metal to ligand pi bonding. It is possible by two means. If you remember previously I showed the three diagrams. Second diagram I told you it is possible by, of course, metal d orbitals are there, and ligand, which orbitals are there? Also d orbitals are there. So metal d and ligand d orbitals. Example, help me now. Example.
Arsenic phosphine.
Arsine, not arsenic. Arsine or phosphine. That already I discussed with you. Now it was important point. That's anti-bonding orbital. So metal d orbitals are there, and from ligand, which orbitals are there? Yes, anti-bonding p orbitals are there. Anti-bonding p orbitals. And in both cases, there is M to L kind of pi bonding. So I have shown you three diagrams. First diagram is for L to M kind of pi bonding. Halide is example. Second diagram and third diagram, these are the examples for M to L kind of pi bonding. Example for second case was arsine or phosphine. Example for third case is carbonyl or cyanide. Anti-bonding p orbitals will be there. So it is the introduction of pi bonding. Because of that interaction, how energy level varies. What happens for our splitting parameter delta O? If splitting parameter changes, means if it increases or decreases, stability will change. So that is important for stability discussion. And there you will come to know why we say carbonyl or cyanide are strong ligands, while fluoride, chloride, bromide, or any halide, those are weak ligands. So strength of the ligand, reason for that you will understand when you will discuss this pi bonding in detail. So this pi bonding, let me cover in the next lecture, and that first bit will be completely complete. Up to here, is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So students, shall we stop now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yesterday's lecture, today's lecture, videos you will get very soon. Those assignments also you have to complete. So complete assignments and inspire your friends also to do the task. Let all you work as you did in the semester 5. Great work. I'm inspired. I'm impressed by your work. Keep it in continuation this time also. Okay, do well. Good things are there to appreciate. Yeah. So students, I declare here today's session is over. I stop the recording now. Quit now.